For weeks now, we've been telling you about News8's Wait to Text campaign, but there are other efforts in the state to address the alarming issue of distracted drivers. Don't Text and Drive takes on new meaning as teens grab the wheel to drive home that message for their own safety.
Teens texting. It's a national distraction, so teens are talking to other teens about it.
A lot of us like to drive and have fun while we're in there, so we get distracted, and texting is part of the distraction.
Students at Wilbur-Cross High School in New Haven getting involved with a local campaign, Text You Later, About to Drive.
You are responsible for your actions.
This peer-to-peer initiative is funded by a grant received by Yale New Haven Hospital. Injury Prevention Coordinator Pina Violano says a recent survey taken by nearly 500 students led to disturbing results.
So we found more than half, well, close to two-thirds of the kids that were surveyed that they text and drive, or that a passenger in the car texts and drive, or their parent texts and drives.
Daniel McDuffie has learned his lesson.
Well, the first time I did it, I got away with it. It was fine. But actually, a second time I tried it, I took my eyes off the road, started texting, and then once I got back up, the car started veering to the right.
Scared you, didn't it?
Yeah.
Taking a pledge, stamping a blue thumbprint, and wearing a reminder.
A chastity belt for your thumb.
A ring on the thumb are all part of spreading the dangers of texting and driving.
If I crash and I do something bad to my car, that's bad. But if I do something bad to somebody else, like a little kid or something, that's something I don't want to have on my conscience.
What about your parents? Do they text and drive? Are they good examples for you?
Not really. My mom does it, but yeah, I'll tell her about this. Hopefully she'll stop too.
In Hamden at Sacred Heart Academy,
we're just going to ask you guys to take the pledge with your thumbprint.
They are also listening and signing up to Text You Later.
I think peer-to-peer is much more effective than adults to peers because I think that it's kind of like us taking initiative, you know, to solve a problem that's really, really big.
A serious problem that is resonating with more teens.
I didn't think it was serious. I did it all the time. My friends did it. I just assumed it was okay to do it.
But all admit it's tempting to text when a message comes in.
It could be something that person thinks is important, and if they let it bother them in their head, they just have to, like, grab it and go, like, you know? And I just think that's so bad, because you need 2 hands to drive, and you need 2 hands to text. So you don't have 4 hands.
So thumbs up.
Text you later, I'll drive.
Make the choice and save a life.
It's all about saving a life. Members of the Junior Board of Friends of Yale New Haven Children's Hospital are taking the lead in that campaign. The official kickoff is later in the spring, Teresa. 12 schools, including the 2 featured, are involved. And in the coming months, you'll hear more about News8's own Wait to Text campaign. As you heard from those kids, they've tried it. Many of them have tried it and have scared themselves. So they learned a lesson through that.
I think it's tough, though, when they asked if your parents are texting and driving, and the little girl said, yeah, it's not exactly the best example. So.
Exactly. Well, that same survey that I featured in the story actually also showed that, according to the kids, most of their parents are texting and driving. So the parents themselves are not great role models. So parents, you've got to show kids the right thing to do. Don't text and drive.
So we're going to be doing more of these stories in the next coming weeks, next coming months. The next one I'm in the process of setting up right now. We're going to do a ride-along with the state police and actually see how many people are texting. I think people don't realize that there's a hefty fine associated with texting. It's $100, I believe, for your first offense, and it just goes up beyond that. So we're going to see if people are actually following the rules, get right with the state troopers, and pull them over and see what happens.
That's why we were talking earlier that when you do text or when you're a distracted driver, it really increases your risk of getting into an accident.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. As soon as you just reach for the phone, you're 9 times more likely to have a crash. So, and that's not even texting going through the letters. It's just reaching for your phone. So it's such a serious problem.
That's right. And what I loved was what Colleen said, one of the people I interviewed at Sacred Heart. She said, what, you need 2 hands to text, you need 2 hands to drive.
It's true.
But you don't have 4 hands.
Not an octopus.
Right, exactly. So you've got to keep the 2 hands on that wheel. Yeah.